Welcome, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the final round coverage of the 2021 St. Charles Open, brought to you by Skyheiser Productions. My name is Rob Banden, and I'm here with my fellow Smokin Aces teammate, Rebekah Kersey.
Hey, everybody.
We're here at St. Charles County's newest course, New Melle Lake, for the third round. This course provides a great mixture of challenging open and wooded holes that is sure to bring some suspense closing out this event.
Here on our lead card today, we have Andrew, Paul, Brock, and Derek, all whom have been on coverage in the prior rounds. Andrew and Paul are battling out for that first place spot, and we have a close battle for second place as well between Derek and Brock.
Let's get after it. Hole 1, par 4, 641 feet. Pretty open down the fairway. At the end, curving down to the left. Shown here, the basket is in the C location. It is actually in the D location, back behind that group of trees to the left, the hard cut into the green. Green slopes down a little bit, and there is OB right there on the right side if you go over the sidewalk.
Yeah, if they were to push it long, they could go over the sidewalk up near the basket, or if for some reason on the drive they held on to one, it could go OB as well.
Overall, pretty easy par 4. Presnell's going to start us off.
I'm excited to watch some golf today.
Looks like you flipped that up. Perfect, right down in the middle of the fairway. It's a good shot.
Yep, right to the landing zone to set him up in a good position for his second shot. This hole can be easily birdied if you just put together two really good shots back to back.
Can also get into some trouble on the left side. There's a big long wood line that runs along the fairway. If you happen to not get a hold of it enough and it hyzers into those woods, you might have some trouble there. Paul with a great drive as well, right near Andrew.
Yeah, that was a good shot. I think he's just a little past where Prez landed. And next up, we will have Brock on the box with that purple halo that he loves so much.
Shirt's untucked today. He's ready for business.
Yeah, he's letting loose on this final day.
Just kind of turns his back. I think he knew he let that one go early. He's up the hill. I can't tell exactly the line he's looking at, but shouldn't be in too much trouble.
Yeah, he should be able to get up and down with this being a par 4 as long as he's not too obstructed.
Last on the box, Derek Green. Local guy, Smokin Aces team member as well. Back for round 3 coverage on the lead card.
Yeah, he was on the board for 10 years.
He's done, so much work.
Yeah.
To get this club where it is today. So big shout out, DG.
Most definitely. We appreciate your efforts, buddy.
We got Brock. Looks like he's a little guarded by that tree. I don't think he should have too much of an issue, though.
Oh, man, that was close. So he turns it over just a little too much, I think, trying to stay away from that tree. But again, he's just looking to get up and down for par probably at this point.
Yeah, trying to attack with that drive can be tricky. And what you don't want to do on this hole is saw it off to the left early. If you miss the green, you go into the bushes on the left-hand side. It makes it really tough to have a clean look.
Yeah, you want to clear this corner clean. Oh, my gosh, he poked through. That thing came in hot. Sat down nicely, though. I mean, just at the edge of the circle, it looks like maybe barely outside. It's hard to tell.
It almost looked like a Firebird. That was really overstable.
Yeah. So, actually, I guess Presnell was out. He was a little further than Paul, and so he's last to go.
Want that little bit of ground play. Skip up between the... It looks like he's in the bushes, but there is a pathway back there that he should be sitting right open for a birdie look.
Here's Derek's drive. It's a nice shot. And he just needs to skip one up into the green, but catches a little low, kind of turns it over a bit too much.
Yeah, you got that thick grass. You almost want to get to that burned brown grass to have it skip in.
Yeah, this is a hard green because you can get a lot of skips, so you have to play that just right, and he kind of came up short of that area where he was going to get that skip.
Brock's got a field goal putt here. He's got to get up over those bushes. Wind's kind of kicking up. I don't think the wind was as bad today as it was yesterday at Quail. Seemed to be like it was a little bit higher yesterday at Quail, but still a little bit of wind you can see going on. He caught that branch and fell down early.
And this is Paul for his birdie, right?
Yes.
Just off the top band. I know he's hoping at this point with the stroke between him and Presnell just to try to keep pace. Take him where he can.
Yeah, with a birdie putt here. Makes it look easy.
Well played. Derek's just going to put his 10-foot par shot into the basket, while Brock will essentially do the same. Also for par.
Just a couple tap-ins here. Paul's going to do the same for his par.
So Presnell with the only birdie then, huh?
Yeah, got a stroke on the whole card.
Man.
It's a good start for him.
Not taking his foot off the gas. Hole 2, par 3, 377 feet. This is a tight shot down the gap with a 90-degree bend, essentially, to the right at the end of this. So, you might see some big arms either, choose to go over the top, or a lot of times you'll see a forehand up the gut, something that'll skip and work right at the end.
Presnell, we don't see him play the forehand very often. He's got that nice finesse backhand, so I would assume he's going understable. Try to get something to run right, but really you just want to get to the end of the fairway to where it makes that 90. If you can at least get there, you'll have a decent straight look at the basket.
Agreed. You don't really want to come up short, otherwise that turn is pretty significant. But Presnell is down by the B pin, looking right up at the basket, and shouldn't have any issues.
Is that you sitting back there?
Yeah, that's me. I came to walk and watch the card. Paul had been staying with me for the weekend, and all my buddies were playing. I wanted to come support.
Paul takes the high hyzer. Look how wide that is. Is that going to get back?
Yeah, so this was crazy. He went so far right and then still worked back all the way left to that B position right by Presnell.
Was it wind or was it just a stable disc?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't believe that it had that much movement on it. Because for a second, I thought he kind of held on to it too long. So I was surprised to see it on the left side of the fairway when we got down there.
It was out pretty wide out of the hand. Brock is going to throw a forehand here.
Wouldn't expect anything less from him.
Yeah. Hopefully play it a little low and get some ground skip. It looks like it's a little early.
It looks good. And then, that actually skipped a little long.
Yeah, he didn't hit anything.
No, and he still should just be looking up at the basket. He might have a little bit of junk in his way obstructing a good birdie putt, but overall that was a solid huck down there.
DG trying to make a choice. Looked like he might have was going to go with the forehand there to start.
Yeah, for like a quick second he thought about it, and then it was like, nah.
It's got to get up.
Little
got to
low.
skip.
He did get a little skip out of that, though. Hey, it could have stopped further back there, so, appreciate the skip, and now look where he's at. He's actually to the end of that fairway, like you were talking about, where the bend goes, and he just needs to toss a little soft forehand approach shot up there, and he can get out easily with a birdie here. A par.
Oh, yeah, on the pole. Nice shot, DG.
Nice.
Paul. Oh, yeah, has a nice open look at it for 2.
Yeah, he can give it a good run here.
Stepper, a little low.
Yeah. And if you go long of this basket, it does drop off just a little bit and then leaves you with some annoying trees in the way. So you want to give it a healthy bid without getting yourself handcuffed back there.
Just off to the right.
Yeah, makes a good attempt. I think it only left him like 15 feet, though.
Okay, Brock. Yeah, you can see kind of on the front line of the foliage. Might have a hole at no.
It looks like he caught something, maybe the way it just went nose down at the end, but easy par.
Andrew here from about 15 feet. Should be an easy tap in for the par.
So, was that a star par there then?
Yeah, assuming everybody makes their shot.
Well, I
From
mean,
here.
we just have what, tap-ins?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Way to make that one look easy.
Can't take it too much for granted, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Brock checking the wind for his 4-footer.
And the rest of the guys are just going to clean up, and we will move on to the next.
Hole 3, par 4, 621 feet. The first shot you want to play down to the front of the lake here without going too far and throwing into the water. Pretty much a placement shot. So it's quite a bit more footage to chew off on that second shot.
Yeah.
And it's an uphill green going into it. So you really have to try to get it up there. There is no drop zone. So hopefully these guys just keep it out of the water.
Yeah. So this is one of those holes that it's the risk reward. I mean, I don't know. I think the play here at this point is just to lay up and bite off as much distance to make that second shot easier because, like you said, it's longer and it's uphill, and then it does have trees on the right-hand side of the basket. So it is still kind of protected in a sense, low branches, making that angle to get to that second shot a little bit tougher. So you want to put yourself in the best position possible off the tee so that you can feel comfortable with that second shot, that long water carry.
I think more players are going to try to challenge that island green. If it were in the pin location
yes,
that it showed on the flyover.
Agreed.
Yeah, some of the players might be going for the green in one. Obviously, depending on the wind and how much power they have. But for this, I think the best play is just play that smart, safe shot up to the shoreline as close as you can get it, and then try to attack the green with your second shot.
Yep. And as we see here, that's what all 4 players did, and this is our lead card here, right? So if they're not going for it, I wouldn't assume anybody else is either. So now you can see Derek needs to carry this water all the way to that far bank over there.
Didn't look happy with it. Oh, and he rolled into the water. It was definitely low out of the hand.
Yeah, that was just past that A pin that we had seen, kind of where the water starts to cut in before it goes back out towards C again, and so he'll have to play OB from the other side of the water.
Brock with a pretty good-looking forehand. Looks a little early. And he's going to be kind of tucked in them trees. Makes for a really tough birdie putt.
Yeah, and honestly, he might just be hoping that he has a spot to even get out and get in for par.
Presnell lining up a backhand.
It looks nice out of the hand, but as you can see, it just kind of starts to continue to drift to the right and ends up in that tree line over there that we just saw Brock in. He's not as far in there, but same rough area.
I think he got up the hill, though.
Yeah,
so
he did.
Yeah, a couple tiers on that side where the basket's on the top tier. I think he's right up near the top of that hill. Paul, this looks...
It just keeps leaking to the right.
Not quite what he hoped for, I'm sure. Held on a little long.
So Derek is taking his relief and is going to just think about his shot, apparently, for another minute.
It's tricky because the wood line behind the basket, if you go too far back, you're in trouble. Or to the right.
Yeah, and I think he's thinking about this forehand because of the low branches, and he can kind of come in on the left side, but instead he saws it off just a little early.
Yeah.
You know, instead of coming in that open pocket that he was trying to hit under those branches on that left side.
That's going to make for a tough putt. Brock, I don't even see the tunnel he's going for, but he's out.
Yeah, so he was able to just pitch out, and honestly, at that point, that's what you're hoping for. You just want to be able to get your par.
Paul looking like the same. You know, if a lot of times if you don't have a look at the basket, just get it out somewhere where your next shot can be put in.
Exactly. That way you're not throwing from the junk again. So like Paul does, he just finds a spot out there that he can toss his putter up to and move on with his life. You know, don't make more trouble, more work for yourself. Prez here is pretty stretched out, and he has some junk he has to go through to get this one up and in.
Goodness.
My God.
What a putt.
On a laser. That thing was on a laser. My jaw was on the ground when I saw that in person.
Such a high spin rate. Like, you got to get it uphill and try. Yeah, that's nuts.
Derek's like, okay, I'm not going to get big putted.
That's a solid putt. That could have got away from him pretty quick.
Yeah, after going OB, I know he has to feel good about canning that putt. Because he didn't leave that shot either where he wanted to, you know, so he proved to himself that it was okay. He still was going to come through and put it in the basket.
Brock tapped in. Paul here for his par.
Yep. So the strokes between him and Presnell are leaking a little further apart as we go into hole 4. This is a par 3, 385-foot shot. It's going to be up this gap, and then you're going to need to dump left, and you're going to need to gauge that distance just right so you don't leak too long. And the basket's actually going to be in the B position where you see that PVC pipe that was just a little past the A1 there we saw on the left in the flyover.
And this is a tricky angle. You almost want to get, if you had a big forehand, you could almost play a big S, S line, Anheuser. But for these guys mostly throwing backhand, you really just want to get it out the mouth of the gap.
Yep.
Into the opening right there so you can have an approach shot.
Yep, something that just skips left at just the right time, and maybe give yourself a long birdie look. But if I remember correctly, there wasn't a whole lot of birdies on the day on this hole.
The hardest part about this hole is that if you miss the fairway on either side, so if you hit a tree and kick right or left, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
You're almost guaranteed to be at bogey or worse with the angle of this fairway. So it's a tough hole.
So Paul looked like he got out into a good landing zone for his next shot as Brock puts one down the fairway but stays straight just a tad longer than he had probably wanted to. So now he's going to be playing from the rough over there on that, what will be the right side of the fairway as we kind of turn our way when we walk down it.
Derek probably throwing something a little stable here. Wants it just to get to the end of the fairway, finish left. That's how you draw it up.
Oh, yeah. That was buttery. Right in the middle.
That's right where you want it. Yep. Don't leave him hanging.
I was going to say, and he leaves him hanging. This is just a straight shot for Paul from here in between these trees. Just needs to avoid them.
There's quite a few trees up near the green as well. Oh, and you got that last one.
Yeah. There's just so many in the way they're staggered. You have to thread them just right,
And there is an open, kind of wider line, but where his disc landed, that's what makes the placement shot so important.
Yep.
Is if you don't quite get that line right, you're fighting through stuff like that.
So Brock tries to flick one out of there and catches a tree in the fairway, and it kicks him back to the rough.
Presnell's got a couple options here. He goes straight at it. Looks like he's going to just try to play the hyzer around that bigger tree.
Yeah, that darker one right there, and just let it fade back towards the basket.
Yeah, that's a smart play.
Yeah, very textbook, and he took a lot out of his way by taking that angle of the basket. Derek turned his right up into the tree, however, and that kicked him left, so he's going to have some work left ahead of him.
Brock, we see here. Just a little bit of a flick out. Yeah, just try to get it out so we can see the basket at this point.
Still has kind of a putt ahead of him, but he's a great putter, so he's giving himself an opportunity.
DG's got a long look at 3 after that drive. Hoping to cash this one.
Oh, good attempt, but...
Little low. Good stop by the tree, too,
Yeah.
behind there. Those can kind of trickle down. It is a little downhill behind the basket.
So this is Paul, and he needs this to save par. And so it looks like he could be losing another one to Prez.
Brock.
That was good. I think that was for his bogey.
Yeah. On the pole. Still a good putt. This is a tough hole, actually. On the day, no birdies.
Wow.
On this hole. Played 0.67 strokes over par.
Okay, yeah, I remember. I didn't think there had been any, very many, but I did not realize there wasn't any. That's really interesting.
Next up, hole 5, par 4, 554 feet. The drive, you just want to get out of the gap. You want it to turn left and fade towards the end. You see here, the basket fades down with a hill in front of it, and you actually have water about 20 to 25 feet, I think, behind the basket. That can get you in trouble.
Yeah. Yep, it comes into play pretty quickly.
Presnell looks like he's got this stood up a little bit, needs it to fade.
Paul says what?
It still traveled pretty far forward through there. But yeah, you need it to, cut it just inside of that tree line.
You almost want it to be right along the edge.
Yeah,
And
about as
just-
close as you can get to it without touching it, while
Yeah.
staying straight as far as possible.
Paul,
Oh, man.
grip lock a little bit, but he got away with it.
I didn't realize how close he actually was to hitting that tree.
And that one, yep, that caught the right side as well.
Yep. So from there, I assume they're just going to try to pitch up. But this is a par 4, like you said. So you can get a birdie on this one if you just get yourself into a good position and get your second shot near the basket.
Brock looks like he's got this one turned over, but it fades
Oh, yeah.
just in time.
That's a great shot.
That's where you want to be, give you a good approach into the green.
All right, we have Derek last on the box. And he is ready to make some moves. He turns that one over, and it starts to hook back up, and that is exactly what we were just talking about. That was awesome. Yeah, stayed just inside of that tree line.
He might have to lean out a little bit, but yeah, I think he should have a good look for it. Paul's just trying to find a hole here.
Oh, and he does. Holy cow. He slides up onto that tier. He's on the short side of it, but up there nonetheless, and has a look at the basket.
Brock with a pretty smart play here with the forehand hit, up top that hill and just skip down.
Yep, just let it filter down, and that should be a routine birdie for him. Presnell, however. Ooh.
What is he aiming at? I can't, that little hole there in the middle, huh?
Yeah, man, that looks thick. It's so hard to tell, though. But it looks like he finds an opening.
Yeah, he got out. Wow.
Okay.
That was a good shot. Yeah, DG's.
Yeah. Those branches kind of just hang out more than I realized. I mean, he pushed so far up the fairway, but they just stick out. But he looks like he pokes it up underneath there, and
Yeah, he clipped it, but still pushed up to the basket.
yeah, I think he's sitting pretty close for just a drop-in birdie. All right, so Paul is outside of circle 1, closer to circle 2, and he's just looking down at this basket, keeping in mind that the basket does have water about 20 feet behind it. It's a little breezy because we are next to that lake, and he's exposed up here on this tier.
This is a tough one. You don't want to let it get away. No step on this one. Oh, but he bangs it home.
Yeah, isn't that sick?
No stepper. I was kind of expecting it, but
Like just full on straddle power. Oh, it was awesome.
that's got to feel good.
And so he gets a birdie, right? And now Prez needs this to save par. I'm sorry, for his birdie.
For his birdie,
Yeah.
right. Oh, just short.
Yeah, leaving him with par. Sorry, that's where it was trying to go. That now that Paul was able to get a stroke back on Presnell there. So
Brock with a pretty easy birdie here as well.
you can't hate an easy birdie, man.
No. Especially a windy day like that. Like, the closer you get, feels so much better. And look at Derek. He's on
Yeah,
the
I was
basket.
going to talk about easy birdies.
Yeah.
Hit
Don't
your head on the forehand. Or hit your head on the band there. Oh, Lord.
So all birdies there except for Prez.
We move into hole 6. This is a par 4, 462 feet. This is a easier par 4 because these players really have the distance to get here. They're just trying to get as far across the hillside as they can and get themselves a look for the birdie. Maybe even an eagle look here for someone who really can bomb it.
Yeah, if you put a move on it, you can get over there. The only OB, the water down at the bottom there, plays as casual. The only real out of bounds is far left. There's a sidewalk way over to the left side. So, yeah, this is kind of a soft par 4. Everybody's going to want to challenge it as best they can. And Paul looks like he's got this on a pretty good line. Maybe turned over a little too much.
Yep, just a little too much. He might have some low branches from those trees on the right side in his way, but he can, bend down underneath them and probably pop something up there and have no trouble.
So I know Brock crushes forehands. I want to see how close he gets here. Look at that lift.
Right? And just...
Oh, no.
Oh, right? Oh, my gosh.
No.
Yeah. So that was really painful to watch in person. Because it was such a great shot, and he just got punished by hitting that rock the way that he did. And he rolled
455
so far.
in the air, and he hits the front and rolls 150 feet back.
I know.
Man, that's a tough break. DG's got this on a good-looking line, turned over.
He's at like the edge of circle 2.
Yeah, I think I could see one of the
Yes.
markers. So he's in circle 2, definitely.
Yeah, and it's uphill, so he can take a safe run at it. You don't want to run too far past the basket though, because then you have a death putt coming back.
Yeah, off the front of that ledge.
Yeah,
of the rocks.
And he also looks to be, I would say, just inside circle 2.
Yeah, it looked like it came out of his hand a little low. But all these guys should have birdie chances here.
Yeah, poor Brock also could just be dropping in right now. But
almost a tap-in eagle, yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's a bomb of a forehand. 455 feet, 50 feet.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just said, yeah, for the eagle.
Yeah. So these are pretty much going to be routine pitch-ups. What you don't want to do, obviously, hit the rocks in front. You'd rather give it a little bit of a longer bid, Derek.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about that. The fact that it would have been an eagle and not a birdie, and like it totally just skipped my mind there for a second because it was such a good shot. He was so close.
Paul's got a decent look here for an eagle as well. Just off the top of the basket.
Solid runs. This played as the easiest hole of the day. Almost a full stroke under par.
Yeah, I think we might need to review the pars here.
For these guys, I mean, they are making it look pretty easy.
It's a good putt there from Andrew. And they're all in pretty good range. But yeah, you're right, though. If you go too far behind this basket, it does turn into a death putt, especially on a windy day.
Yeah, like if you just really happen to blaze one by the chains, then you get stuck looking with a death putt and sometimes even low branches in the way. So luckily these guys don't have that to contend with, and they just have relatively easy putts to get their birdies.
Star birdie.
Beautiful.
That's awesome. Hole 7, par 4, 594 feet. This is another tricky fairway. You pretty much want to put your drive in a place right where that short tee pad is, where we passed by, and then you're going long up the fairway. The basket is actually where it is in the flight, not the PVC that it's showing right here. It's definitely a 2-shot hole to get up the fairway. You want to make sure you place that first shot right around the short tee pad, and then you have about another 300 to 320 feet, I believe, to the basket.
Yeah, I mean, this is a long 594 feet in the woods.
That's perfect.
Then that was set up perfectly.
I don't know you can do any better. That's right where you want it. Great shot by Paul. Brock looking to do the same thing.
This is one of those tweener holes where it plays as a 4, but half of the field, like took a bogey or worse. So it's a half stroke over par being played, and it can be tough if you get off your line here at all.
Yeah, left or right, and if you don't get up to that landing zone, you don't have a clear shot at the basket. So you're going to be playing a pitch up around the corner,
Yep.
and then having to play your third shot towards the basket, hoping to just take your four and get out.
We just saw a great shot there from Derek. He looked to be in ideal placement as well.
Presnell, I feel like this is his bread and butter, but he hung it out a little too far.
He did, but he stayed in that main fairway there for the most part.
Got a good kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So Brock, I guess, pushed a little long off the tee, but actually that makes his shot kind of straight on for that second one.
Looked a little high up on that. I couldn't tell where he was in relation to the basket, but he got a decent chunk up the fairway. I think he should be looking at a 3. Putt, anyway. Presnell.
Sweeping hyzer.
Yeah, he's got to cut that corner really tight.
He's kind of nicked something and knocked down. Got a decent way up the fairway, though. And so Derek is going to be left with a forehand shot to kind of pump it right up there back into the fairway and be on that right side kind of.
It's a smart play. You could tell he wasn't going for the basket there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was playing for placement,
Yep.
as we have talked about many times today.
Because otherwise, you'd have to big forced anti-flex forehand, and you're not quite sure. And even throwing, fairways or high-speed drivers through these woods, you never know when you're going to get a kick. And
Oh my gosh, he laced that.
edge of circle.
Yeah, that was
for a birdie.
fantastic. Just right up the gut.
Paul looks to be trying to make a move here on Presnell.
Yeah, I feel like he's locked in right now. He is coming for him.
So this is Andrew's third. Kind of a tricky putt. The green does fall off behind it, so if you go past, you're going to be skipping down. That's just a layup. Good shot, though. Smart play.
You don't want to mess with that one. It's not worth it. It's just too far. He still had a couple strokes, and you don't want to risk that roll away.
So I'm curious, does DG go for this? That's a pretty decent... Nope, that's a layup as well.
Yeah, it's hard to tell at first on camera. He definitely had to put a little bit behind it to make sure that it landed right where he wanted to next to the basket.
And Paul, the only good 3 look we have. See if he can knock it down.
Yeah, and he gets the uphill look.
Man.
Right? I know, solid.
You can't play that hole any better.
His putting right now is it's light. It's heating up.
He's feeling it.
Yep.
Brock, kind of a little bit of a tester as well with the downhill. on the pole. Nice putt. Save par there, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Press taps in. Bag on the back.
DG finishes out as well.
And we move to hole 8. This is a very tough par 3, 380 feet through a bunch of trees uphill, and then goes off to the left at the end, veers pretty significantly. This hole was one of the toughest holes I think that the players encountered.
It has been on
today.
coverage in the past. From the blue tee, this is one of the toughest holes on the course.
I would agree. The angle is just tough and lots of trees.
You see the little shoulder shrug there by Paul. It's just like, it's out there.
Forward progress.
I think he's in the fairway.
Yeah, I do too.
Just a little low. Again, this is kind of a placement shot. You can get up the fairway. You have to almost throw a forced anhyzer on a backhand and let it stable up into the fairway after that big tree. Looks like Brock has a pretty good move on this.
Yeah, it looks like he got up that corridor, just turned it over a little too much. He's sitting up by the A placement. That should give him a decent look, though, in my opinion, over to the pin.
I think I'd rather be right than left.
Agreed.
To be honest, yeah.
Agreed.
So, yeah, he should have a decent look to get a 3. Look at the turn on that.
Oh, that was great. So he's over by where Brock is.
Yeah.
Up by that A placement. And I think that they are in an ideal position from there to make their next shot.
Presnell going to be looking to do the same. Just went a little bit lower. Want to get a skip.
Those were great tee shots.
Yep, and there's the basket. So, yeah, if you're off to the left on the fairway, you're a little pinched off like Paul is here. You have a lot of trees, and you either got to try to find a gap or go around the outside with a hyzer. But it looks like he's going straight at it. Caught some...
Yeah. He caught something in the upper deck, and it just kind of knocked him down. He'll advance forward, but not as far as, he would have liked.
You can see Brock looking at the different lines here. You have so many little trees in the way. Trying to judge what the best shot would be, and that's solid. That's right where you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to be focused and dialed in on these shots. This is where the mental aspects comes in, to navigate through all of these trees. It's not as routine of an upshot as in the wide open.
Andrew come up a little bit short, still in the circle, probably about 20, 25 feet. Should have a pretty easy look at 3.
What a great drive from Derek.
Yeah, he's got the best looking drive. But those little skinny trees in front of you makes it tricky. Got to go around the outside.
Round the outside, round the outside.
It's a good upshot.
Oh, man. This does not look fun. Yeah, he's just going to toss up and out. And that means that if Prez makes this...
Yeah, he'll gain a stroke back.
Yeah, yep. Taking his time, not taking anything for granted, and cans it in true Prez fashion.
It's so interesting how he releases it by the hip.
He gets so much rotation on that thing.
It's so low.
A little nose up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of spin. Brock taps in his 3. Derek does the same. I believe Paul's taking the only bogey on the card, unfortunately. Hole 9, par 3, 394 feet. This one, you're going pretty much over the short tee into a little bit more open of a fairway as it bottlenecks down to the green. You see all the small trees that are guarding this basket. The green slopes right to left, so ideally you kind of want to put a forehand in up there or a soft putter to match the slope of the green so you don't slide down.
Yeah, we see Brock with the forehand, and he just gets through everything, skips right past the cameraman, and parks it.
Almost hit the camera guy.
Yeah. Good thing he had quick feet. I mean, it was coming in hot.
That is a line. That's a great shot. DG going with the backhand.
Yeah, he's going to show us a different line. Turns it over a little too much, though. And if you turn it over too much, that right side up there, it's pretty thick with trees, and it's harder to get to the basket, in my opinion, than if you were to fall down off to the left side.
It is. And you also have to take into account the slope of the green. So trying to come in from the right side, if you hit the green on an angle, you're just going to roll down the hill.
Prez is smack dab in the middle.
Paul looking to rebound here. He's got to make up some strokes. Nice and smooth. Looks to be turned over a little bit. Caught something early on the right-hand side.
Yeah, kind of up maybe by where Derek is, I believe.
Yeah, they got to be close. So they're going to need a couple scramble shots.
Derek's got Noelle on the bag. That's his wife. She is awesome and comes out and caddies for him.
One of our Real Housewives of Disc Golf.
Yeah, she's great. Very supportive. That was a good out, but it just, and I spoke too soon.
And there's that hill.
Yeah, he was going to be just at the circle's edge and then caught that little bit of a roll, so left him even longer. Paul has a similar shot.
Yeah. Should be something similar, but again, you come in on that green on edge, and you're taking that chance. That's a smart play. Stay.
Yeah, that got good ground play and worked back up towards the pin nicely.
Presnell may be giving this a bid. I'm probably more likely he's just probably going to lay up.
Half C maybe? I don't know. That's when you kind of have to commit to. So maybe that was just a layup.
You never know with him, though.
Yeah, you never know.
He could just drain one of those.
So Derek has this for his 3, and it's uphill, so he can really let loose here and run it.
Do it.
Oh, was walking it in. Yeah. We all thought that was in. It just trickled right over the right side of the basket.
Paul here for his 3. Makes good on that.
And Prez wiping off his disc, collecting himself before he taps in his 10-footer. But still going through the motions, even with the lead. He doesn't change anything about his routine, which I really appreciate.
He's always consistent.
Yeah.
No matter how far he is from the basket. He's kind of like Dickerson.
Yeah, like a robot chicken.
Yeah, robot chicken, same thing. He could be 8 feet from the basket. He's still going through his entire warm-up.
Yep. There. Boo, he did not like that.
Nice bird, Brock. And that's going to do it. Thanks for joining us for the Front 9 coverage, brought to you by Skyheiser Productions. Shoot over to the Back 9 to see how everything wraps up and who will be crowned the winner of the inaugural St. Charles Open.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this wraps up here and finishes out. We still have some tough holes ahead of us. Lastly, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We will see you all in the back.
See you there.